Maybe Enid could watch my latest Frederick North submission. Wanted a woman's eye on his film.
There's this actress. I've got this feeling that's Nina, my sister.
Niamh Algar, thank you for your time and thank you for confusing and scaring me with Censor.
You're welcome.
I guess, how would you describe it? I've read that you're not a fan of saying it's a horror film, but it's pretty bloody and gory.
As in, I'm not saying I'm not a fan of saying it's a horror film. It's as much a horror film as it is a psychological thriller, I find. So Enid Baines, I'm gonna get into the nitty-gritty of it. Enid Baines is a film censor set in the early 80s in Thatcher's Britain, and it's her job to cut explicit content that she feels is not acceptable for public viewing. And she sees this movie called Don't Go in the Church that causes this catalyst event in her life that causes her to question the disappearance of her sister, and she goes down this rabbit hole, this journey of uncovering that.
And it's quite the rabbit hole. I mean, I got to say, before I saw this film, Niamh, I wanted to be a censor. I mean, the idea of, I already get to watch a lot of movies and do it for work, but the idea of that being the sole thing that you get up in the morning for and, read these magazines, watch these TV shows, play these video games and watch all these movies, it's crazy.
Yeah, and I think, well, I love watching movies. I spend my whole life watching them if I'm not making them. But what I love about this is that it explores how much, I suppose, the psyche can handle in regards to watching explicit content day in and day out. And for Enid, it's you're questioning why it is that she's doing this. Why is she taking this profession? Because she takes it incredibly serious. And when I spoke to when I researched this role and I spoke to actual censors.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was fascinating. But one of them said to me, it was like, when you have to keep an eye on the people who are taking it too seriously, they're the ones to watch.
That's right. That's a general life rule. You always watch the quiet ones.
When it's for her, it's obsessive, and you kind of feel like Enid is doing this because she's watching the things that the public don't have to watch. So she feels like she is this superhero in her own narrative.
If someone did take it, then they're still out there.
You've never been clear on exactly what you remember.
You'd be surprised what the human brain can edit out when it can't handle the truth.
Someone's losing the plot.
And it's also at a time when, what I loved about the film, obviously set in the 80s when VHS was big, and, you had to go underground and it was possible to find things that had been censored or were on the black market. These days we just stream it, forget about it. It's there, it's gone. But the concept of when she had to go to a video store and things like that, that was really, a nice bit of nostalgia in the film that I think added to the creepiness of it in a sense.
Yeah, it's interesting because if it was set contemporarily, all you'd have was the character going and plugging a laptop on and just Googling something and they'd find it then and there. For her, she's almost like a detective. She has to go to extreme lengths in order to find this movie asunder. And it just reminded, the set that we had, that video shop, I was like, oh my God, I miss this. I haven't been in a video store in years. It was really nice just being on that set, and you could see so many of the crew just coming in and picking up the cassettes and walking around, and I miss the physical.
Well, when you think about it, I hate to bring this to your attention, but probably none of your films are on VHS.
No.
I was wondering if you had anything else on this actress. What's going to happen to her?
Well, that's top secret. People think that I create horror. Horror is already out there in all of us.
excited about then as we sort of get into a new normal now? You mentioned this is kind of probably one of the first films you're going to see in a proper cinema. Are you looking forward to that and anything else?
Yeah, I'm just excited to get back to cinema, get back to the theatre, to seeing friends. Yeah, I think everyone is, aren't they? We've all have we're all gonna be carrying this PTSD of, being stuck inside. And I, as I sit here in in a 10-day quarantine coming back from Cape Town, it's just makes you really appreciate just the little things that, make us human. And I think we've just that the community, and having people around you. And that's what I feel about theater, especially, is to experience something together, and especially in a cinema where that's why we go to the cinema, because we want to have that community feel of witnessing something together.
And that's what Censor does, I think, too, in the gory way that it is. It is that film you want to grab the hand of the person next to you or jump up and down about or try and decipher what it means together and have that sort of debrief after the film.
Yeah.
Like, did you see what I saw? Are we on the same page? It really makes you think. It is quite an exceptional film to look at and feel. Like I said, you almost feel it, the way it's put together. And like I said, thank you for confusing me and terrifying me.
You're welcome.
Good to speak to you as always.
Thanks, Clint. Thank you.
Bye. Cheers.
Bye.